Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I'm here checking out this IGN video about WWE 2K25. I'm a veteran of playing these games. I've had every single one from SmackDown to 2K24, and I must say that my interest in playing the game consistently has died off tremendously. I would say the last WWE 2K I was playing on a regular basis would probably be 22. But just after that, I really just bought the game to play the showcase mode, and then online here and there, and I would kind of fall off. I used to would want to create characters, download a bunch of stuff from for what people create from the creation suite, a lot of that cool stuff. But I really just fell out of it because, year after year, you do so much and you got to start all over again. That's what it is with these yearly titles. I stopped playing NBA 2K. I was very loyal playing NBA 2K, but I don't even play that anymore. I mainly just play my fighting games. I play Street Fighter, Tekken. That's about it. Mainly Tekken, but we finna get into this video, and they released all the entrances as well. We may review those. Excuse me. We may review those as well, but right now we're finna check this out. Yeah, The Rock's entrance looks incredible. It looks great.
Ever since its successful 2022 reinvention, 2K's popular WWE series has continually made a host of smart improvements in an attempt to not only build upon its winning formula, but to also justify its annual releases.
Yeah.
WWE 2K25 certainly promises a new batch of iterations, including a brand new online interactive world called The Island,
Yeah. I've really been debating with myself because I got WWE 2K24, and again, I barely played through the showcase. I didn't even finish it. I think the last showcase mode I finished was Daniel Bryan's. No, what would it be? 2K23. I finished Cena's in 23. The year before was Ray. I think wouldn't Bryan's. Well, that wasn't a 2K21. So that had to be like 2K20. It's just been a lot of games, but this looks interesting though. It looks just like the park. That's what I'm hearing rumors that it looks just like the park for like in NBA 2K. So yeah, I may get it and play around with this and see what it's like.
revamp of its story, general manager and universe mode, a new hardcore match type called Bloodline Rules, and several more. However, I can't say if all these new additions will elevate 2K25 above its predecessor because, unfortunately, I didn't get to sample any of them at the recent preview event. Instead of sampling what I imagine to be this year's most significant alterations, my time with 2K25 was largely focused on the mostly unchanged core gameplay, and this year's adjusted showcase mode, which focuses.
That's the thing with these games. They're yearly and they reuse a lot of stuff. They just really update the graphics, change some of the mechanics here and there, but for the most part it's the same game, and it just gets really repetitive. And what I'm looking at, it's looking like they hadn't changed much. I really like. I look at the game, and I just want to just kind of make sure that the gameplay is somewhat different, some subtle changes. But we see the same thing, just a different coat of paint. It's just like another the same game.
Is on the Bloodline stable of wrestlers. But while I was locked out of most of this year's new ideas, I did
But it looks good though.
appreciate some small but significant alterations. And they're enough that I'm confident that WWE 2K25 will be another successful evolution of the series and most likely worth any wrestling fan's time.
A superstar with every ingredient to be a megastar. Yeah.
LA Knight look weird.
WWE 2K25 Showcase Mode focuses on the history of the Anoa'i family, headlined by its most.
I definitely want to play through this. I definitely want to see that. So I'll be getting WWE 2K25 for sure. I want to stop because I'm not gonna play it much. But you know, I guess you buy the game for what you want to play it for. You know, I don't have to experience everything, do everything, but I can, you know, buy it for what I like. I guess for what I want to do.
Recent stars Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, but it also celebrates previous generations like the Wild Samoans, Yokozuna, and most famously, The Rock. The mode now includes 3 types of matches. Ones where you recreate history, others where you create history, and most interestingly,
Devon looks
matches
great.
where you alter history.
Good
I got
model.
to experience all 3 types in the shape of recreating Nia Jax's Queen of the Ring victory from 2024, creating a dream Wild Samoans versus the Dudley Boys
the
match,
Dudleys
and
look really
altering
good.
the history of the iconic Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins bout from the Royal Rumble in
22.
2022.
Yep.
All 3 offered their own style of fun and unique perspective for any hardcore WWE fan, and it's an improvement on last year's
Bird
Showcase
Girl.
mode. But that's not to say
Oh,
there aren't
Lyra looks
still some
amazing.
small issues. The Showcase mode in last year's WWE 2K24, much like the one in WWE 2K23 before it, was hampered by an over-reliance on switching to real-life footage that ran for multiple minutes at a time, a system that developer Visual Concepts dubbed Slingshot. As I pointed out in my preview for WWE 2K23, I found myself wanting to be back in the action and create these moments myself, not just watching clips of footage that are already burned
I heard that they changed that. We'll see.
to my brain. 2 years later, I'm happy to confirm that although the issue is not completely solved, progress has been made. The cut to real-life footage is now gone, as is the over-reliance on taking you away from the action.
Right.
At least, as far as I experienced in the hands-on session. Key moments are now recreated in-engine through animation, providing a less jarring experience and a level of satisfaction from seeing iconic moments realized in the game's mostly gorgeous graphics. These sequences also seem significantly shorter, meaning less time away from controlling the action.
Whoa, that was interesting.
That's not to say that all my prior gripes with staying in control have been addressed though. During the
I
conclusion
mean, I keep saying
of
it.
my Nia Jax match,
The graphics look amazing. The models look really, really good. I think the best WWE 2K visual-wise was probably 2K19. It was a overhaul for sure between like when like 2K15 came out on the new generation consoles at the time, like PS4. We used to be seeing that from PS3 to PS4, 360 to Xbox One at the time, and those graphics was a huge leap. But that's what it looked like to me from 2K18 to 19. So
rather than staying in the ring, I was forced to embody a bystander
and then we don't want to talk about WWE 20.
during the 1, 2, 3. Ideally, I'd like more control during these important moments. I want to relive them with my own gameplay decisions, not merely observe as a passive bystander.
Good night, Annihilator.
Elsewhere, 2K25 makes minor improvements to other rough edges. Previous showcase modes relied heavily on a checklist system, requiring you to complete often rudimentary maneuvers to trigger the match's live action sequences. A common complaint is that this approach makes a match feel less like dynamic gameplay and more like a to-do list. This system is back, which no doubt will prove contentious once again, but it has been slightly refined for WWE 2K25, with the added optional objectives on a timer. You're rewarded for completing these actions with cosmetics, but most importantly, you're not punished for failing them as you were in previous entries. It's a vital baby step in the right direction. The standout addition to Showcase Mode, though, is without doubt the aforementioned ability to change the conclusion of certain historic matches. Where Roman Reigns once lost by disqualification to Seth Rollins, you can now experience how things could have played out should Roman have altered his temperament in the final moments. It's a fresh experience for hardcore fans of WWE, and I'm very excited to see what happens in the other unannounced change matches.
Wow.
And Reigns breaks the hold here. Roman breaks the hold and this match continues.
It just shows you how locked in Roman Reigns is to winning this match.
While there are notable changes in modes and match types, the core gameplay essence of WWE
Intergender
2K25
matches
is basically the same as before, with some minor tweaks. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I was already happy with the grappling action in 2K24, so I largely believe that it's a smart decision to stick with the proven
I
success.
personally think the game needs an overhaul once again. I remember I'm going back here. WWE 12 was they pretty much using the same engine from that game because they changed because I remember the SmackDowns. I would say from here, SmackDown versus Raw, the very first one, and up to like 2K. Not I'm saying 2K, WWE 11. I have all these games, by the way. As you can see, I have. There goes WWE 11, 2K. Well, it wasn't 2K then, but SmackDown versus Raw 11, and then to this game, WWE 12, and then 13, right? WWE 13 and 14. 14 was actually my favorite. 14, see, WWE 14, that was my favorite. And then WWE 15. So yeah, those are all on PS3, but 14 was my favorite. I believe that was the one that they. Of course, my favorite wrestler is The Rock. So I remember year after year after year in those earlier games, they had his interest the same. It was so annoying. Year after year, he had the same entrance. They didn't change much of him. He didn't even look like himself. But in that game, he was on the cover, and they overhauled everything. He looked great. His interest was on point. I pay attention to those little details because I've been playing the game for years. So also, I had I used to troll in this game a lot too online. So I mean, you really couldn't do the same thing in 15. But yeah, I trolled a lot in 2K14.
Formula. There are, however, a few interesting additions and returns. WWE 2K25 sees the long-requested revival of Chain Wrestling, a gameplay sequence that was sacrificed with WWE 2K22's huge engine revamp. During the opening moments of a bout, instigating a grapple will now force players into a mini-game that allows you to
They implement a lot of cool things in 2K22, which is why I would say that's my favorite of recent years with the WWE games is 2K22. It was really good, and just how they changed the combo system and all that. You can do combos, and it was pretty cool.
Upper hand. After locking up, you can choose to drive, wrench, attack, and ultimately reposition your opponent into a spot that's advantageous for you. Like the trading blows mechanic introduced last year, Chain Wrestling adds another staple of WWE action, taking another vital
Look at how
step
small
towards
Jacob
accurately
Fatu look.
recreating what fans see on TV every week. Also making a return is a submission system, a mini-game in which you must either avoid or match your opponent's colour block on a wheel. While it has an overwhelming UI presentation, it quickly becomes second nature, and I'm glad to see it return. But if you're less excited by its reappearance, it can fortunately be disabled in the options. The same goes for Chain Wrestling and other quick-time event moments. They're all optional.
Trying to fight it. Anything to not give up.
Without a doubt, my favourite gameplay feature from WWE 2K24 also makes its triumphant return. Throwing of weapons.
That's one of the main reasons I bought 2K24. I seen them throwing the weapons. I'm like, I'm finna throw some chairs and tables at people. That's pretty cool. 2K24 was all right. The two main reasons I bought it, like I just said, for throwing the weapons, but then also how you could shift the camera. I prefer the ramp showing on the background because I'm a N64 kid and I played No Mercy. I played WrestleMania 2000. I played all those good games, NWO versus WCW versus NWO. And they always had the ramp in the back. I just always preferred that, and they took that out. The last time they had that was in like WWE 2009. I remember that, but then they switched it to where you couldn't switch the camera anymore.
Not only has the roster of weapons been improved, but the backstage brawls have now expanded
Man,
into
Jacob
new
looks
environments
small in this
that
game.
are perfect for weapon tossing.
Oh, that's
The
pretty
best
cool. They
location I
outside.
experienced in the demo was the
That's a nice
WWE
backstage, too.
archives, which not only allow you to toss apples, footballs, and megaphones, but also drops you into a
Football.
WWE fan's dream environment.
That's an awesome
Legend,
backstage.
history,
It's like a
Easter eggs
warehouse.
galore. Oh, and you can also fight on top of a giant WrestleMania
That
sign
is pretty
and everyone's
cool.
favorite giant fist from the SmackDown days of yore.
Oh my goodness, that's from Shut Your Mouth,
From the top.
where you can jump off the.
See them getting up after that.
That's cool.
As to be expected, much like in real life, the ring area is now covered in Prime sponsorship. Say what you will about that, but it does allow you to use the Prime Hydration Station's giant
That's
bottle as a
alright.
weapon. For my money, wrapping a bottle of Logan Paul's luminous juice around your opponent's head certainly feels like the best use of the egregious electrolytes. Oh, and I also managed to find another worthwhile use of the giant prime bottle.
That was a hell of a maneuver there, guys.
Oh my God!
Less than main event after that one. Yeah, Jay delivering the pain.
Perhaps the most
Like an
notable
atomic
gameplay
drop on a
alteration
damn
this year,
bottle.
though, is the long overdue intergender gameplay. For the first
That
time in a
reel look
2K
kinda weird right
WWE
there.
game, you're able to pit the men against the women in a match of your choosing. This, along with the largest roster ever, with 300 plus wrestlers to choose from, finally opens the door to a whole host of matchups that previously weren't available. Lastly, although the demo build featured a limited amount of new updates to explore, I did get some hands-on time with the brand new match
look
type
at that.
Underground. It's a
Oh.
ropeless variation of an exhibition match that puts you in a Fight Club-like setting with lumberjacks around the ring.
Kinda look like,
this is something that's completely brand new.
Kind of look like what Shane had tried to start back in the pandemic era. Was it Raw Underground? Yeah.
The series, and something I can share more about later this week as part of our exclusive IGN First content.
The following is an underground match.
Wow.
WWE 2K25 continues the recent tradition of the series, layering new features on top of existing and robust fundamentals. Nothing right now feels particularly revolutionary, as the formula feels largely consistent with last year's offering, just with some small but smart tweaks. Time will tell if the advertised big sweeping changes and new modes that I didn't get to see will truly make this edition stand out from its peers. But from my brief experience, it's hard to say that this is anything but a very incremental step for an already well-realized series.
Nice.
And if you're interested in finding out more about WWE 2K25, be sure to stick with IGN all this month for our IGN First Look coverage. And in the meantime, be sure to check out the full entrance video for this year's Royal Rumble winner, main event, Jey Uso.
Yeah. It looks so stiff in the game. We know how hype it is in real life. It's kind of stiff. I think that's the same one from last year too, but you know. All right, that looks like that's the video. Hey, that was pretty awesome. WWE 2K25. Like I said, I'll pick it up. Really, probably no special editions or anything. I'll probably just get the standard edition. You know, play through. We'll see. Thanks guys for watching the video with me once again. Catch y'all later.